Hello, everyone, and welcome to First Friday Lunch. My name is Tina Holland, and every first Friday of the month, I go ahead and I talk about what's going on with me personally, what's going on with my writing business, what I'm reading, what I'm watching, all those, and we just kind of have a little chat. So I don't have any hot topics today. We'll get into why that is at the end of at the closer to the end of the video. So. Let's jump right into it, shall we? So, what is going on with me personally is that I'm waiting for this to. Boy, it wants to stay up there for a while. So, personal, everything's going pretty good. So, weather-wise, I always end up talking about the weather because it's so weird. My sinuses have been like really jacked up just because we have had like last week around Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and over the weekend it was like almost 60 degrees. So it was very warm. Molds are kind of coming out of the ground underneath the snow, all that kind of stuff, but it was really drying out. And then yesterday we got a snowstorm which lasted, and we have like a reprieve until we have a second wave coming at like 1 o'clock today. So as soon as I'm done with this, we're gonna make a quick store run to get some stuff for the pups. And yeah, so but it's just been wreaking havoc on my sinuses because I think it's like 20 or something like that. It's just been awful. So I picked up Mr. Holland yesterday from the airport at about 7:40, and that was fun. So we're driving home on like snow turning to ice, turning to water, turning to ice. That was exciting. So glad we won't have to do that for a while. And I was driving my Mini. I have a Mini Cooper. It actually, for a small car, it handles in the snow surprisingly well, but it just isn't like a four-wheel drive truck or a Jeep or something like that. So, but it was the one I had running, so we went with it. What am I reading and watching? So I have been reading, I'm still working on the Mr. Darcy, Juliet Tilney series by Claudia Gray, and I'm currently listening to the Rushworth plot. So I really like this series. She's got the next book comes out, I think this summer sometime. So, but I'll have been through I think I've binged them over the last 6 weeks or something like that. So I listened about a chapter a day and then kind of whatever. I haven't really been like reading them. I might though, like if I can get, it looks like my library, because I've been getting them through my library. The library will have the print version available before they'll have the audio version available. So if that happens, I'll probably read the last book. I've done that with a couple series. Martha Waters wrote a series, and I ended up listening to all of them except the last book. I ended up reading just so that I could read it. But I talked to another author. This is getting a little off topic, but that's kind of what we're here for, right? I was talking to actually, she was a seller. She's a bookseller. And we were talking about romance readers specifically. And some readers like books that they can like hold and touch and whatever, but it seems like romance readers are just readers. Like they'll consume a book. They're consumers. She said they were like consumers because they would consume it in any form. And I was like, that's true. Except like your favorite authors, then you probably want, like if you do a digital book, you probably like, and you really love it, you probably want a physical book. Because I have a few that I have in both. I have like some Joanna Lindsey stuff I have in both digital and in physical. So, but also I have found that I generally prefer digital because I've gotten older and my eyesight's not super great. I like the black background with the white letters because that just makes it easier for me to read. And then I can adjust the print because I've got the print adjusted on my tablet to what I like to read or whatever. So, but yeah, I can see, and plus I can take them all with me. I mean, they're thousands of books, and like, I don't know if I have thousands. I bet I do. I bet I have over 1,000 books on there. And I can take it all with me. And also they are either readable or they're listenable, some of them. So yeah, that was kind of an interesting little tidbit there. So that's what I've been reading. I haven't really read anything else because I've been working on my own stuff. So I just started watching because it's on Pluto right now. I just started watching Hot in Cleveland, and I think I'm on season 3 right now, and I am kind of loving it. I was like, it's quite enjoyable to watch. So, and then I'm also watching, there's a new series out on ABC after High Potential, which I love, called RJ Decker, and I'm loving that too. That's a really funny show. So I just heard, cancellation wise, two of the shows that I watch, Watson and DMV, are both being canceled, so they won't be coming back next season, which I'm kind of bummed about. But then also I'll get my like Sunday nights back because I just kind of lost them watching TV. So that's that I'm a little sad about, because I was kind of hoping that those would stick around because I like both of those. So, but I am not a big medical drama. Like, I never watched Grey's Anatomy or the Chicago one that's on right now. Or 911. I don't watch a lot of those. And even police television shows Law and Order, well, even Law and Order. Like, I haven't watched anything like that since probably, I like detective shows, but I don't normally like medical, which I think is probably why I liked Watson, because there's a mystery involved in it. I like detective shows, but I don't like The Rookie is probably the closest I come to watching like a cop show. So I never watched like legal dramas either. So medical legal dramas, I'm not really super big into those unless there's like a high mystery element. So every now and then I'll watch a legal drama because my husband finds them kind of interesting, but it's dependent. Like, I started watching Matlock, but I like the new season of Matlock, but I just couldn't, I don't know. I just couldn't get into it because it wasn't like Crime of the Week or whatever. It became like, there's this ongoing drama, and I'm like, I just can't. So that's kind of what I've been reading and watching. And then writing. So I just got back the proof copies for How to Marry a Maid, or How to Love a Lord, How to Marry a Major. That was the first book. And I've been going through those, and I was originally for this day, going to schedule a release party video, but I will probably do that in May, just because, or I'll do it as a separate event later this month, because I'm just going through the proof. As you know, if you follow my channel, I had a soft release in February 14th with the ebook, just so I wouldn't get thrown into Amazon jail. And then I got the proof copies back because I finally got this cover sorted. I had to fix, like, the back is super tiny, so I had to fix that. So we'll see. I should order some more proofs just to see if they look okay. So I went ahead and I fixed that, and then I'm like kind of doing a read through just to find, and I found like an on I want to change to a 2. But once I'm done with this, I won't look at it again. So this will be the last time I read through it. And plus, if I don't catch it here, I just won't catch it. Somebody else will have to catch it. So if you are a reader and you love Regencies and you purchased the first book and would like to read the second one, I would be happy to send you a proof copy. Only 4 of you, though, because I've ordered 5, so I can only do 4 of them. So, but yes, I would gladly send you one of these. And if you find errors, let me know. So, so that's what I'm working on, like writing, publishing wise. This month I'm participating in Writers and Gardens A to Z blog challenge, which I think we've done almost every year. I think we missed like 1 year right after the pandemic, but I don't remember which one. I know we did it last year, and we're doing it again this year. And so I'm participating in that with like A. Catherine Noon, Rachel Wilder, and a bunch of other creators on the Writers and Garden blog. So if you want to read those, you can follow us all along this month and basically join us as we go ahead and go through everything. So I'm trying to think of what else. I think today's the 3rd day I ended up doing. C for challenge. Nope, that was for something else. And one newsletter went out yesterday for Writers and Garden. And I'm working on a short story for the Author Nation anthology, for their romance anthology that they're going to put out in November. So I'm working on a short story for that. That's got to be done, I believe, by the 15th. I'll have to double check, but I think it's going to be done. So that's kind of my project this weekend, is to buckle down and finish that. I'm like 3K in, and it's got to be 8K. And I can do 5K pretty easy. I just got to sit down and button chair and I can get it done. So it won't take that long. I can usually write like 5K in a week, or less if I'm like really dedicated to sitting in the spot. So that I will work on. And then I'm hoping to finish, to get a good go on How to Humble a Highlander, which is the third book in the Bad Guide series. So those are kind of my projects that I'm working on. Let's see what else. So yeah, I think that's everything that I've been working on. Like I said, I was really hoping we can talk a little bit about why I had a big hiccup with this one. Part of it is that I sort of put in a pre-order, which I probably should not have done until it was done. But I put in a pre-order and I went ahead and was kind of like, I thought I was done with it, and then I set up the pre-order, and the story is not changing that much. A couple of things that like stood out to me afterwards was like, right now I got to go through and find, I wrote the yeah, so I wrote a letter to my readers, and I'll read that to you guys really quick. So, my side notes. So, 1816, which is when this book takes place, was a year without summer. With the help of my editor, I hope I caught all the flower references, because I did, because it kind of takes place in like an April timeline around this birthday party weekend. So, there is overlapping timeline with this book and How to Marry a Major. Like the opening, the second chapter is kind of like where How to Marry a Major. So there's some overlap there. And that was one of the things, even like as I was looking through, I found a couple flower references that I'm like, oh, I got to change that and take it out. But the overall story, there's no plot changes. It's like these little nitpicky things that if you're a historical person, which I always put in the back, like the history stuff. So I put down that with the help of my editor, I hope I caught all the flower references. We also had some questions around marriage contracts, because there was a thing around the marriage contract, which people normally draw before the wedding. I wanted to express that by this point, Pierce no longer cared and just wanted to be married to Bella. So, and then I put in some other stuff in there about it. And then, but that was like the big thing, is I'm kind of going through and just rereading, because what I do normally in the editorial process, and I'll cover this again in May when we talk about it, but what I normally do is I will go ahead and I will do the read through, send it to my editor, but when I'll read it through on my tablet, because I can just read it faster. Whereas this, you're just looking at it in a different format. And sometimes I just catch things like I caught in How to Marry a Major. If I have that one here, yeah, I do. Oh, I have the markup one even. So this is after, and this was quite a bit afterwards that I had, maybe it was like a month afterwards that I started catching things. But what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll catch stuff and I'll highlight the page there, and then write down, like this one is like a word change, but some of it's like simple stuff like word changes. But one of the things I found was I have a character named Lady Worthington, and their names had been Worthingham. And so I actually caught in the print version that in like the first 3 chapters, their names are still Worthingham. And then about midway through, they changed to Worthington. So I changed that. So there's a couple things like that it seems like I just don't catch unless I read it in the print format. So there are a few authors that will go ahead and they will do like an audio version, or not an audio version, but they'll like have the computer read back to them. Like Google Docs will do it, Word will do it. Some people upload it to like 11 Labs or an AI and have the AI read it to them, and then they catch it that way. So, but I have one of the authors I know, VM Roll. She does that. She will go ahead and have her Word, I believe it is, read back to her. And so, and then when you use Word and you also use, maybe they're better now, like with Copilot, maybe it's better. You can like have them read the text back to you. And now it might sound more human than it did. Like I used to do it with Google Docs forever ago, and it did not sound human. It was very whatever. And you can also catch too if they get words wrong. So I've been watching some stuff on like 11 Labs specifically, because the Author Nation has like their after party classes just wrapped, but they were running from January basically to the end of March. and 11 Labs did a couple, and one of the um, authors that uses it, she's a daughter of the guy that did the classes. I totally can't remember her name. If I remember it, I'll put it in there. But what she does is she does her audiobook basically kind of first drafting, like second, third draft before she does like the releases the ebook and whatever. And she's read it and then she's reading it into the thing and she catches a bunch of stuff, which I've started doing with this book. As I just started reading it because I was telling my husband when I picked him up, I'm like, I got to read through my How to Love a Lord. So if you don't mind, we can have story hour. And he's like, oh, I love that idea. I love story hour. So then, but I'm like, because then I can read it out loud. So when I went to the airport to pick him up, or I went to town and I went to like the grocery store and the pharmacy stuff. I'm like, if I'm going to go to town, I'm going to do a bunch of errands, which I did. So there was groceries in the back and he's trying to fit his luggage in my Mini. And I'm like, I'm sorry. So yeah. So I was like, okay, so we did that. And, yeah, it worked out pretty well because I went to a coffee shop or actually went to, if you're in Fargo, I went to the Shack because they're open until like 8 o'clock Wednesday through Friday. Otherwise, they're only open till like 2. But and if you know, you know. And so I went there and I had breakfast for dinner because I have a breakfast that I love there. If you guys love the Western hash browns there, this is God bless Angel because she told me how to order it. So she basically told me that you can order a number 2 and get it with Western hash browns. And it's basically that Western hash brown special. And so now I order that like all the time. So I order number 2 with Western hash here's my specialty. I order, I have a coffee with cream because I'm a coffee drinker. So coffee. I order number 2, eggs over hard sourdough toast. If you have it, then sometimes they don't. But I think only one time they've never had it. And then hash browns. Can I get the hash browns Western? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. And so then I get this pretty beefy meal. So like we'll go there in the middle of the week, like if we're running errands or whatever. Usually Wednesday is our errand day because we live outside of town. So we'll like pick a nearby city that we're going to run errands in and we'll go get groceries and whatever. But we usually go to Fargo or Fergus Falls and Fergus Falls is a little further, but my husband's bank or our business bank is in both locations. And so we can just do like our business banking and we can do the errands we have to do. As a matter of fact, I will usually schedule appointments on a Wednesday just because then I can get in and out or whatever. I was supposed to go to the doctor yesterday, but we had this freezing rain the night before. And I was like, I'm not going. I will reschedule this because it's just a checkup. There's nothing like dire or anything like that, but it's just a checkup. And so I'm like, oh, I'll just go there or whatever. And so, yeah, I'll see her or whatever towards the end of the month or whatever. So I don't have a lot unless you guys have any questions today, but it's been like pretty quiet. So I did that. Writing, publishing, we did that. Yay. So what do you got? 18 minutes. That's pretty good. I mean, it is a short chat. I like that. That works out well. So if you guys don't have any questions, which doesn't look like you do, and that's okay, because I didn't do a lot of advertising for this one. So next First Friday lunch will be May the 1st. So go ahead and pencil me in for lunch.